What's up, guys? Day 19, Law 19, the law of timing. When to lead is just as important as what to do and where to go. When to lead is just as important as what to do, and where to go. That's the law of timing. So far, a lot of what we talked about is the action, which is the what to do, the steps that we need to take towards our accomplishments. Talked about how that can't just be active, it has to be proactive, and how that proactivity in regard to our priorities, as we talked about a couple of days ago, has so much to do with whether we reach our accomplishments or not. The entire time we've been talking about this, we've touched on vision and we've touched on influencing people towards the vision that you have. So we've talked about where we're going, we've talked about what we're doing, but we've not really talked about the when portion yet. This is the law of timing, and it's kind of boiled down to this: context is just as important as vision and action. Context is just as important as vision and action. See, if we do the right things, that's good. If we're going the right way, that's good. But when is the right time to lead? That's kind of the question that Maxwell poses with this particular law. He has four possible outcomes every time that a leader makes a move. Every time that a leader makes a move. Four possible outcomes. The first possible outcome is that the wrong action is done at the wrong time. That leads in disaster, is what he says. And it does, because if I do the wrong thing at the wrong time, I'm sure to have a wrong result or an inaccurate result, because that's simply a wrong and a wrong can't possibly make a right. So we end with disaster. The second possibility is that the right action at the wrong time brings resistance. When the right action is done at the wrong time, you run into a wall that wasn't previously there, or wouldn't have been there if you'd waited a little while longer, or wouldn't have been there if you'd taken the time to build a relationship with that person that was creating the wall, or wouldn't have been there if you'd exerted influence and worked through and used your momentum that you could have built up to push through that wall. But instead, you rush the action, you don't go within a good timing, and what ends up happening is you meet resistance. A third possibility is that the wrong action at the right time is a mistake. Why? Because it's still the wrong action. It's still an action without vision. It's still an action that won't lead towards accomplishment. It's still an action that has nothing to do with your priorities, perhaps. It's still an action that has nothing to do with what you're supposed to be doing at the time. Even if it's done at the right time, it's still a mistake. And the fourth possibility is the right action at the right moment results in a success. This is when all the chips line up, all the cards line up, all the stars align, everything comes right into focus for you, and you sit there and you recognize that the right action at the right moment is happening right now, and this is successful. And this is a means through which I can build momentum. This is a means through which I can increase my influence. This is a means through which I can empower others to fulfill the vision. This is an opening. This is an open door that I should use and that I should take advantage of. Why? Because the right thing happened at the right time. How do we apply this? How do we look at where does that tie into my life? Well, we could really look back and look at where we were and look here and look at where we are now. So we look back and we see, okay, well, in the past, I made these errors in regards to the right timing. I made these errors in regards to what I should be doing. Spend some time analyzing your recent initiatives that maybe might have failed in the past. And then John Maxwell talks about looking at yourself right now and what you're working towards and seeing if the timeline that you have really is the timing that you're supposed to be aiming to do it. Really is the timing that you're supposed to be pushing towards at this particular moment. Is it time to take that next step yet, or do you need to wait? Do you need to go through a little more process? Do you need to empower some more people? Is it time? Is it the right time? Is it the right action? Is it the right time and the right action? We just talked about those four things. You don't want to end up with a disaster, with resistance, with a mistake. You want to end up with success. So be sure you look yourself over, check yourself out, make sure everything's done in the right timing so that you might end with success. The law of timing. When you do what you do is just as important as what you do and where you go. See you tomorrow.